everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review. I think this is going to be our only review of the week, so let's get it out to you right away. We are reviewing WWE's Money in the Bank, which hailed from right here in our city of Toronto. I'm wearing Johnny Gargano because we got new tag team champions that happened on SmackDown. So with the exact same finish as the FTR match that happened 8 years ago in
A real tag team is the tag team champions. Is that
how about
weird?
that? How
Yeah.
about that? But that's on SmackDown. That we don't review SmackDown, not yet. At least we don't have the time for that. But we are reviewing Money in the Bank. With me once again, we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, wrestling, everything in between. He was actually at the show last night, well, 2 nights ago when this is dropping, but he was actually at the show. So you're actually going to have two different perspectives on this review because I was not there, but he was. So that'll be interesting. But before we get into the review, make sure you throw a like on this video, like, comment, share, subscribe. Our Forbidden Door review did amazing. Guys, thank you so much. You got that thing up to 400 views. I don't know how, because I only have 320 subscribers, but 400 views. So thank you so much. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that and ring that bell for notifications so you know next time any video drops. So let's get right into this. Money in the Bank, hailing from Toronto. First, before we get into the show, how was the experience like yesterday? Like the atmosphere?
I mean, it's I like it. I thought it was a fun time just generally being there.
Mm-hmm.
It's it, uh, it's hard because I've never been to a WWE pay-per-view.
Right.
Um and the way that they do the show with like the you can't fast forward promos. You
Promos.
have to sit there
So
through
there's a lot of
30
dead
minutes of
time.
every match has like 30 minutes of promos in between it.
Yeah.
And it's like if you want to go to the bathroom, you better go during a match because or else there's just lineups around the entire fucking place to
But
go
you
to the
got half an
bathroom.
hour so you can wait in line for half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather just not. But yeah, it's a weird experience, but it was fun.
Okay. So the match opens off, strangely enough, with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So with this match being first, we knew exactly what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah,
We had Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. And the commentators made a point to say 5 of these people have never won a world championship. So we
well,
knew
I
who
would
was.
know that if I had commentators, but
That's why I'm saying I watched it. So
um, I think this is arguably one of the better men's ladder matches in like just general wrestling that we've got
yeah,
lately.
6 great performers in the ring.
It was pretty strong. I think as much as it sucks to be like, oh, we lost Ricochet, and he does have a little bit of um things that he can do that just other people just can't do. I mean,
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes is not a bad replacement for him in terms of being
And
a very
to be
similar
fair,
wrestler.
neither was Andrade.
No, yeah, that's true.
Neither was Andrade. With Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, you kind of had the two things Ricochet would have brought to that match.
And the issue that I had with them was if by the end of the match you realize that they were just there to take those huge spots, and it kind of felt bad because it was just like Andrade constantly getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, that Spanish fly he did with Carmelo, like from the second rope to the ladders, that like absolutely killed them. Was it who did the cutter onto the? Was it LA Knight did the cutter onto Carmelo Hayes on the side of the ladder there too? Like
That
there were
was a
some
hard spot
pretty
because that has no
gnarly
give.
spots. Yeah, those are some. But one thing I do want to say are those ladders? They're fiberglass, aren't they?
I don't know
Or
because
some sort of
this,
carbon fiber because they bend so easily.
but they also like in the men's match, they didn't like shatter that easily. In the women's match, they were like folding.
Yeah,
But also if you when we talk about the women's match, I won't spoil anything, but
yeah,
if you watch it, Chelsea Green at one point is trying to move ladders and they look like it's so heavy she can't even move it.
yeah,
Like she's trying to like lift it at one point and she can't like get it in place because it's so like tipping over while
yeah.
she's trying to like stand it up. So like I don't know if it's fiberglass because fiberglass would be really
It's pretty
light.
light. Yeah. But the way they were, like, you see when they're walking, you see like the actual ladder buckling from the weight.
Yeah, I know. It's odd, man. It's odd because they're so floppy, but they're also so strong. I just
Yeah.
don't know. But this match was pretty good. This is definitely match of the night for me.
Yeah. I would
I'll say
agree
it
to
right
that.
now.
Yeah. I can agree to that.
It was a huge spectacle. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Everyone I was with really enjoyed it, but I think that led to a steep decline for the rest of the pay-per-view.
Because in the end, Drew ends up winning.
Yeah, and it was a really good moment actually. especially the way it happened. Like if they made you have a couple moments where you really thought it was going to be Chad Gable.
Yeah, that was really close. I was kind of rooting for Gable at that point.
And the one thing though I didn't like is he literally had his hand on the carabiner thing for like so long. Like
Yeah,
he was literally just like not doing anything.
yeah.
So
But I mean, in the end, Drew does end up winning. With that, we know what's telegraphed for the rest of the night. We know what's going to happen.
yeah,
You guys could probably predict what's going to happen too.
it really, I mean, it's good because we wanted this in a
Hmm.
way, but like it's bad because you knew that there was no interference by any of the people in this match that they said could
Hmm.
interfere in this match, which means
Like,
we knew interference had to
yeah.
be happening later.
Other than CM Punk, who are some of the names being mentioned?
Logan Paul.
Hmm.
I can't remember. There's so many. They literally had like an entire list
Yeah,
of people
Logan,
who it could be.
Jimmy. I think Jimmy Uso was
Jimmy
supposed to
Uso
be.
was one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Who's LA Knight beefing with?
Jay, really.
But there was some, okay, they had like a list of people,
Yeah,
like a massive list. I was
but
like, okay.
at least they let the match go. And uh, to be fair, I'm not happy with Drew winning, but it makes the most sense.
Okay, this is my thing. So we'll just talk about that for a second. I think my only other option had to be LA Knight
Yeah.
because Jay Uso is not a main eventer. I don't care if his name is main event Jay Uso, and he wouldn't have won anyways.
No.
So it would just be a waste of a title shot. For me, in my eyes, Drew is like someone you want to be the champion, and he can beat the person who is champion,
Who is champion? Yeah.
right? Like the way the storylines are going, Jay Uso is not going to beat any of those
No.
people. It would be LA Knight. Chad Gable's not beating any of those people.
No.
We knew Mello and Andrade are not going to win the match. So we'll just
Especially
leave those.
Andrade, that they didn't even mention, but he's like the speed champion or whatever it is,
Yeah,
right?
see, and
So
it's like he doesn't even have a belt.
yeah, he didn't come out with the belt either. But
He
moving
was the
on.
funniest one, by the way. Just when
Which
I was
one?
recording the entrances, he came out and I was like recording it, and then he started walking, and I was watching him walk, and at the end I realized in my video I never moved my phone, so the whole time it's just of the entrance because I watched him walk and I didn't move my hand. I just held my
That's
hand
awesome.
and
Looking
at the
forward to
thing.
that short.
All
Uh,
right.
moving on, we are going into the Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn defending against Braun Breaker.
This was actually a really good match, way better than I thought it was going to be.
Hmm.
It
Uh,
it
it made Braun Breaker. Braun dominated for most of the match, but Sammy just sold so well that it made Braun look like a force.
it's it so we were talking about this too, and I think the story told in the ring was amazing,
Yes,
especially in the stadium. Like there was so many ups and downs. Um,
Sammy always being the constant underdog, right? So,
yeah, it felt weird because like it's an underdog story. That's what it is, right? Like
but if it's
he's
an underdog story, then he's the champ, though. That kind of
no, but
don't.
he's overcoming a monster,
Yeah.
right, to retain the championship. But at the same time, you had to choose. Do you tell a storyline where you overcome a monster, or do you stifle all of Braun Breaker's
Momentum.
momentum? Because I know it's Sami Zayn and he is a champion and losing to a champion, but like he's a little guy,
Yeah.
a little flabby, skinny guy, and you lost to this guy who's literally been demolishing everybody. And it's not, I'm not being disrespectful to Sammy. It's just you had to make a decision. Now in my opinion, maybe not everyone feels that way, but I
Hmm.
don't feel the same way about Braun Breaker. I feel like
No.
you've
And now,
weakened
if he
him.
does win the belt, it's not going to mean as much.
It'll exactly. I would
Yeah.
have rather you had Braun Breaker win it and then had Sammy win it back or
Overcome
something
the
like
odds
that.
at like
Yeah.
SummerSlam or something. Yeah. That would have been a much better story told. But in the end, Sami Zayn does retain in a really good match. Like, it does keep Braun Breaker looking strong and dominant, though, because the win came out of nowhere and it was kind of a fluke win.
Yeah, but there was like a period where Sammy did get like some really good offense.
Yes. Yes, yes. So with that, let us move into our third match of the night, right in the middle of the card, so you know exactly what's going to happen here. Damian Priest defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Seth freaking Rollins. Should Rollins win, Priest has to leave the Judgment Day. But if Priest wins, Rollins can never challenge Damian Priest for the championship again. which is kind of a dumb stipulation. Like, what
Yeah.
if he only has it for another month and then
This this match in the stadium, I don't know, because I kind of I think there's something else later, but this was like so boring, like
it was
absolutely a snooze fest. Nothing happened for 10 minutes.
there was one point, I don't know if you caught it live, but the ref only counted to two
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Damian Priest never kicked out.
So I mean on
What
the
happened
replays,
there?
there's a
Like this
couple
is what
things you guys are gonna get on replays. There was a lot of F word chants that I'm
Mhm.
sure have been taken out at this
Nope, they
point.
were all live.
Okay.
When I was watching it live, they were all
Yeah,
there.
but live they were
F you,
there.
I was watching FU solo.
Yeah, I think on the replays they're gonna just put
Mute
like
it.
"love you solo" or something, like, I don't know. But there's also in the women's match, which we'll talk about next. But there's a lot of dead air. Like it was
Yeah.
completely silent for the entire match. So I feel like
So
they're
that
gonna
means that
add
crowd,
noise.
they must have, because I was watching a match and the crowd was going hyper for it.
Yeah, it was absolutely dead. Like there was like, oh, you could hear a pin drop in the stadium.
Okay.
Um, and in this match, there was just like there wasn't really much noise, and the that count, everyone gasped because he didn't even kick out. It was a
No, he
three
didn't.
count.
So
The
it was
ref
a
just
three count.
stopped counting.
The ref stopped counting because of what was supposed to happen next. The match was not supposed to end there. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether Priest forgot that he had to kick out or whether he just didn't have the energy to kick out, or I don't know what happened there.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it
a
was a
really
bad botch.
like people were audibly upset about it. Like they
Yeah.
were. It was like, what just happened?
And then right after that is when you hear Drew's music. And Drew comes out, cashes in, only the second time in history that they are making a three-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And the last time the Money in the Bank cashed in and won, which was Seth Rollins.
And he's an idiot. He wasted so much time. So we'll talk about
Mm-hmm.
this first. He wastes so much time trying to mess with Seth Rollins when he could have just went and pinned Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm. Because Priest was out. Like, I legit think Damian Priest might have been knocked out at that point.
I mean, it's possible. And then CM Punk came and like fuck CM Punk. Um, like it's just so frustrating that I have a video of a year ago of the entire stadium booing him out of the place. Like so loud, the boos got so loud that my camera couldn't
From
even
Forbidden
pick up,
Door,
yeah, the sound. But here the whole night
the crowd
for
was absolutely hot for him.
every single night, I mean every single match, people were just yelling CM Punk, even though he had nothing to do with the matches.
Yeah. Yeah, they were super hot for Punk. Like, they love Punk
Yo,
here.
they did not have one single Drew McIntyre shirt for sale. They had like 7 different Codys and like 4 CM Punks. Isn't that crazy?
How much was merch? It must have been expensive.
40 bucks for a t-shirt.
Okay, so that's average.
His hat
Okay.
was $30. They
Okay.
still don't sell just a WWE logo hat, which is absolutely
Did
mind-boggling
you
to
buy
me.
yourself a little mini replica briefcase?
No, of course not.
How much were those? Like 200?
I didn't even look. I know the belts were like 650, but they had no selection of belts. Like
Which one?
literally
Just
nothing.
just the Cody belt?
They had the Cody belt. They had the other one. Oh, you mean like the waist belt?
No, no, like
Yeah,
championship
they
belts.
had the 2 championship belts. They had a Blue Jays belt, and they had because they're partnering with MLB for something.
Okay, yeah.
And then they had like the very first one, the Hogan belt, and like some other random like custom style belts. And I was like, that's so stupid. Like, where's the big gold belt? That's what I'm here for. And they didn't even have it.
Or the tag
So
belts, the new tag
they
belts.
had the new tag belts, but I don't want a tag belt. It makes, to me, in my opinion, I don't care how good it looks. The having one singular tag belt,
Unless
just
I'm carrying the other one.
yeah, but that's someone else has to have a tag belt.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to buy a tag belt just to
No,
have one tag belt.
no. But we are the
Oh,
tag team champions
they
of
were
this.
nice though.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yes.
the CM Punk thing was nonsensical. We knew this was going to
Yeah.
happen though.
Steph looked really hot too.
Yeah, it sucked all the air out of the building when this happened. Like it's so
Even though the
weird.
crowd was cheering for it.
I know it was so weird. Nobody wanted Drew to win. Everyone was cheering for CM Punk, but then when this happened, the building was like, "Wow."
Okay. So in the end, though, Damian Priest ends up pinning Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
and retaining the belt. So
Yeah.
not only did he cost Drew the belt, but it also cost Seth never challenging for Priest again, which doesn't really matter because Priest is going to lose to Gunther and Seth can challenge again.
And
Like
this
he's
is
not
the
going to hold this belt forever. So Seth
no,
shouldn't really be that angry.
and it's stupid because like okay, so this doesn't further the Judgment Day or Damian Priest storyline.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't further any storyline between Seth Rollins and anyone else. It doesn't make the storyline between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre any better. If anything, it makes it more frustrating. So the writing here is maybe like people were talking about in the stands, like some of the worst writing we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like it made this whole situation was nonsensical. You should have just had Drew win it
And then
and,
have him face Punk.
and then have him face Punk.
But
But
then what's Gunther going to
apparently
do?
the rumor is that they don't want a title in the CM Punk match because they don't want to give CM Punk the title. They
Which
want it
makes
to be a
sense.
no
A
titles.
non-title match.
But then also, in my opinion, who cares about that match then if the title's on the line? Because this storyline is irrelevant to me.
Yeah. And it makes Drew look weak.
Yeah, it does.
It
I
really
don't know.
makes, I don't know why he resigned, but
It was not a good match.
no.
It
Let's,
was okay.
but let's talk about actually what happened before this match because we missed it. We had a really big announcement.
Oh yeah, that's
John
true.
Cena.
Yeah,
John Cena is retiring.
yeah. John Cena is retiring. I mean,
Is
kind
so
of.
he say like his last match is going to be at Mania or his 2025 going to be his last year to retirement?
He said last Rumble, last Mania.
And that's it.
Yeah, so I'm
So he's
assuming he's
winning the
going on a
Rumble.
retirement tour.
Yeah. Okay. And they also announced Bad Blood returning in October.
Yeah, and also Trish Stratus is hot.
Still.
Oh, they by the way, they did the national anthems. I don't know if they showed that.
No.
Samantha Irvin sang the national anthem,
The
and
US?
everyone in the whole stadium was like, "What just happened?"
It was
Like,
bad?
no, she's like literally one of the best singers I've ever heard in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah, like
I
it
got to
was
show you.
shocking. We were like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. I got to show you the video of Fab's kid, the one who too sweeted you.
Yeah,
Him singing "Oh Canada."
she's a singer now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jimmy, the singer's brother.
And shout out to Canada for beating Venezuela in the penalty kicks.
Hey, good job. Did a
Better
thing.
than the Italian team.
Hey, they suck.
So with that, we are going to go into our women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It is Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Lia Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark all battling it out. Like I said,
Yeah.
this was one of the better, like it was a lot of botches, but the fact that they also kept the flow moving. It wasn't one of those stop, I gotta wait for my spot. They just went for it. You know what I
There
mean?
wasn't a stop wait for your spot, but this is the thing. If you're watching it live, there was a non-stop setting up of things. There was constantly someone on the outside or a group of people on the outside working together to set things up,
Kind of
even
like
though
what
they're
ELP
fighting each
did
other.
in the ladder match.
Yeah, but it's like, and this is the thing too, and I know this is such a stupid thing to complain about, but like at every other wrestling show we've been to, when the match is over, someone goes this way, someone goes that way, or there's two entrances,
Yeah.
or they walk to the side, or one guy leaves and then the other guy leaves. In WWE, they all leave as a group when the match is over. And
That's
it's like, I
funny.
just watch these people fight to the death. Why are they all walking out of the ring together?
They're all best friends.
And it's really weird for WWE, who like is super kayfabe.
Yeah.
Hey,
at least you didn't get a Wyatt 6 promo in
thank
this.
God. But yeah, it's I thought the spots in this match
Yeah.
were some excellent spots, but
I didn't even realize Chelsea Green is Canadian.
You didn't know that?
No.
What?
I honestly found out last night that Chelsea Green is Canadian.
The fact that people thought she was going to win was kind of crazy to me.
Well, I mean,
Because
they're playing it like the crowd or well,
no,
obviously you
like
didn't hear the commentary because the commentary was like huge behind Green saying, "Oh, she could win in her home." They weren't behind her. They were saying, "Oh, she's not even from Toronto. Just because she's Canadian doesn't mean."
They were really, 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 really pushing her on YouTube. Like that,
Okay.
everyone was picking her to win because they think she's funny and like her run with
Well,
the
my
briefcase
pick
would
won,
be good.
so
Yeah, my pick won as well. I was like, if you watch the match, she never even had a chance. She spends the
no.
first like 5 minutes of the match trying to use a ladder to hit the briefcase out of the air.
The commentators are because you didn't hear the commentator. She's afraid of heights. Was the whole gimmick behind it. So she didn't want to climb the ladder because she was afraid of heights.
That's so crazy.
But then she takes a
Anyways,
gnarly spot at the end, though.
but I knew that. So I was telling them we didn't get tables in the men's match on purpose because there's going to be tables in the women's match. And
Hmm.
then they set up the tables and I'm like Chelsea Green's going to take the spot because in TNA she took a very similar spot to
Yeah,
falling off the ladder through two
through
tables.
tables.
So
Yeah,
she already knew how to take the spot. And then boom, it happened. And I was like, holy
yeah,
shit, it made me feel like I was a psychic. I was
yeah.
like,
And then we also
um,
got a gnarly spot. Like there was a couple spots with Zoe Stark. Like I thought she was dead. Like
well, I thought Io Sky like actually really hurt herself when she
this
did
is at
that
the end when she
spot.
did the sunset pile driver
Yeah.
onto the ladder that was set up. But
Yeah,
there was
that
another
like
spot
got her.
where she jumped or something and she hit her head on the ladder.
Oh, yeah, she did. She smoked her head on the ladder.
Yeah.
It was there was a few really, really heavy duty spots here. The problem for me with this match is everything between the spots was like wasted time or botches. There was so many botches in this match. Like it got to a point where I was like, is this even like real? I'm
Where's
telling you
Shotzi
that
in this match?
the amount of silence in the arena for this match was
So the pop that Tiffany
mind-boggling.
got at the entrance was fake or real?
All the pops were real
Okay.
coming out. During the match was absolute silence.
Okay. Because Tiffy got a huge
Yeah,
pop.
all the pops were the people. But listen, I hate being that guy. Okay, but they were pumping sound, or not pumping sound. They were miking up the crowd and playing it
Okay.
back because you could hear the sound of the crowd and then hear the same sound again as like a reverb because it was coming down
Uh,
from above you. So it was like a delayed extra
audio.
sound.
Okay.
And it happened a few times because there was one at one point when when Trish Stratus came back out, nobody was stood up, nobody cheered, nothing. But there was like all this cheering, and you're like looking around, you're like, what's happening?
Okay.
But
All
yeah,
right. But in the end, our pick does win, Tiffany Stratton. Obviously there was no women's match on this card because I totally hate Liv Morgan's storyline right now.
I mean, right now, if you're gonna,
Bailey's involved in a feud with Nia Jax right now.
I'm not huge on any of the storylines in WWE right now. I think they gotta figure it out because the
So
CM Punk storyline is just I'm gonna keep screwing you over, and the
who's
Bloodline
Tiffy going
storyline is the
after
same.
then? Is it going to
Bailey
be Bailey
for
after?
a put over. It's not a
Okay.
put over for Liv Morgan to for her to lose. I mean, for her to beat Liv Morgan,
Yeah.
and
Well,
they want Liv Morgan to be Rhea Ripley.
no, they want Rhea to come back and obliterate
Yeah,
Morgan.
to be Rhea Ripley, not beat. They want her
Okay.
to be like I just said that not Englishly.
Yeah, not Englishly. Holy
But
shit.
yeah,
Lewis
it's
Hamilton. Wow. Okay.
hey, way to go. But yeah,
First win in
think
3 years.
it's a Bailey put over for Tiffany.
Okay.
Not yet. I think it's gonna hold out for a while.
So you think Tiffy's going to lose it?
No, I think
She's going to
Bailey's
win
gonna
it.
give it to her.
Okay. Yeah, Bailey seems like
She's the future Charlotte Flair of this company. They're gonna give her like 11 2-week title runs so quickly, and then they're not gonna know what to do with her because she's gonna have so many title wins, and they don't want her to break the record, like type of thing.
yeah,
Like,
makes sense. But like we said, Tiffy does win. So congratulations to Tiffy. We were kind of all hoping she would win. So with that, we'll go into our main event of the night. We got, as Santino says, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton against the Bloodline members, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. I'm guessing Tonga Loa was hurt. That's why he wasn't in this match.
yeah,
He
maybe
hasn't participated in a match in a
he's
long.
also the worst one of the four, so it's not
Yeah.
like it really
Like
hurts me
Jacob
enough to
Fatu
see
was
him.
an absolute monster in this match. Like he was probably the highlight of this match.
Jacob Fatu's a really good wrestler.
Yeah, he is.
By the way, that's the funny part. They had merch for him, and they don't have merch for Drew.
That's hilarious.
A guy who just came has his merch there.
That's pretty funny.
I didn't see anybody wearing it, but it was
Well,
there.
because Bloodline merch always sells.
Yeah. This storyline though is like the same storyline again.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Ref bumps, same finishes as every other. Like when Roman Reigns was champ, it's the same finishes. Ref bump, a couple here and there. Team up, beat up on one guy. Multiple guys beat up on one guy. This was a very boring match, though, to me.
Yeah, the first half of it was like for me, I would call it actually awful. Like it
Yeah.
was bad. Like I
Yeah.
was like, this is supposed to be the main event. Like
And
there's
the
nothing
crowd
was happening.
absolutely hates Solo. Like they
Yeah.
absolutely hate him. Like he's not talented. Like he's out of all the performers in that ring, I think he's the worst one.
I mean, he's good, but he's not. He shouldn't be in the position he's in, right? It's that
Tama's way better. Jacob's way better. Like,
you can say that about a lot of people, though. I think WWE, everything's like if you're there. This is something I really want to talk about. Like being in this experience in this environment, like you forget because
nice.
it's been a while.
There's a little whistle there. Yeah.
Um, he everything's manufactured.
Yeah, of course.
You have a guy who's in his 40s. He's a legendary wrestler. Okay. He's one of the greatest tag wrestlers of all time. His catchphrase is something that 12-year-olds say while they play Fortnite on YouTube. And he has a
Who's
entire
Tama's?
no,
Oh,
Jey Uso.
Jey
And
Uso.
he has the entire stadium of 50-year-old men
Going
yelling out
yeet.
this 12-year-old thing. And to
Yeah.
me, it's so like at what point are you just like they're forcing me to do
It
this?
would be like me going around yelling yeet.
You know what I mean?
Like I'm
Like
almost
it
50 for crying out loud. And it's
I'm not
like
saying like it's not he's not like popular or whatever, but it's like you could tell this is specifically directed to target
12 year
children.
olds. Yeah.
And the only people responding to it are 50-year-old men.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't understand like how everyone is just so okay being force fed this manufactured stuff. Like
Yeah.
you're being told that Solo Sokoa is going to be the next thing, like what they did with Roman Reigns. And
Yeah.
it's like,
But Solo's not ready for it.
but people are rejecting it now.
Yeah. Because he's not ready. He is not ready. In the end, we'll say it here. Solo does end up pinning Cody Rhodes.
Which I think is the right thing to do because you have to have some kind of momentum for this where it
Yeah.
seems like he could
When we
beat
do
Cody
the
Rhodes.
match, at least we know Cody is probably going to win this match.
But the second half of this match was pretty decent. The first
Yes.
half really was terrible.
Yeah.
Tama Tonga hits his head off the table at one point, or Tonga
Mm-hmm.
Loa, and everyone in the arena gasped. It was so hard and so
Yeah.
loud you could
You
hear
heard
it,
it.
and it like people were scared for his life. Like people in the crowd were throwing up X's, like stop the match.
Yeah.
Like
You do see the referee go to grab his hand after to make sure he's okay
he stayed in a on his hands and knees
for
for
good
like a
5 minutes.
solid 5 to 8 minutes, just
Yeah.
on the side of the
He
table.
cracked it hard. He's
Like
gonna
it
have a
was
nice
rough.
welt.
It was loud, man. It
Yeah.
was really loud.
Yeah. But in the end, like we said, Solo does end up pinning Cody Rhodes, and this is probably going to lead up to a match at SummerSlam, Cody versus Solo, where Solo's going to lose this match. I hope. I hope they don't give the belt to Solo.
I mean, I don't want to say I don't because I feel like I'd rather have a heel run. And like everyone at the end of this match was screaming RKO because they were
Right.
expecting him to do it to Cody. Like, is this the turn? Is this the turn? They didn't turn. They kind of just stood in the ring
Yeah.
after the match for like 10 minutes and
I'm like,
nothing
what the?
happened
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like, what the
walked
hell
out.
just happened? Yeah.
And we were like, okay, like is Roman coming or like something, and nothing
Nah,
happened.
it's
So
Toronto. They're not going to do anything. I like the little thing about, oh, they let you cross the border.
yeah, it's Shawn Michaels was wandering around at one point,
Okay.
and he's really short.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels is like 5'7", 5'8". He's not that
Yeah,
tall.
but didn't they used to bill him as like 6 feet?
6 feet. Yeah.
We were like, what the hell?
Well, you
Even
also shrink
even
as you
Big
get
E's
older.
not that tall.
Oh, because you saw him on the panel?
Yeah,
Big E's like your height.
yeah, he's not. But they make him seem like he's like massive.
Wade Barrett is bigger than Big E.
Yeah,
Wade's like
but wait,
six
he
two.
was.
He's
Yeah,
like 6'2". He's taller than Drew. Like when they
yeah.
did the pull apart at the end, after the show, like they were doing the post show before they went to the press conference, Drew comes out, he's all angry and stuff like that. He elbows Adam Pierce, and Wade Barrett kind of breaks it up, and Wade Barrett is bigger than Drew.
You know what they did? This was really funny.
Mm.
They did like promo work, advertising the post show press conference to get people to watch it. They even
How?
had John Cena say it in his thing that he'll be
Yeah.
there. Make sure you
Make
watch
sure you
it.
watch it. Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? Is it on
Yeah.
YouTube or something?
It's on the network.
Oh, it's on the network.
It's probably also on YouTube, but I know it's on the network for sure. I watched part of it. It wasn't that great.
They never are, man.
No.
I don't want to watch wrestling post show conferences.
And the thing is, a lot of the reporters are kayfabe. Like, no offense to someone like Queen of the Ring, she's great, but she asks soft questions.
But that's the people they want. If you
Yeah.
notice, especially in WWE, they get angry when people like if Sean Ross Sapp asks like a difficult question.
Yeah.
They only
That's why
want
John
certain
Pollock
questions.
and Wade didn't get any questions in, is even though they're like legends here, like with post wrestling, the former guys from the law, they didn't get a question
Yeah,
because they'll ask the difficult question.
the thing that I like about the Japanese ones is you can literally ask them anything you want.
Yeah.
And that's like,
What's your favorite beer?
yeah, like there's just like stupid ass
Yeah.
questions.
Shout out to Doki.
Yeah, shout out to Doki.
Doki is your new IWGP Junior Heavyweight champ. I don't know
Hey,
where he won it, but he is.
yeah, but we love those 10-second runs for Desperado.
Yeah. It
Fucking
doesn't hurt
jerks.
Desperado's career, but how much does it mean for Doki though?
A lot.
Yeah. This is a guy we used to joke on like a year ago.
Stop pinballing belts though.
Yeah, yeah. And shout out to your boy Caleb Newman, made it into the G1.
Yeah, someone's out though, right?
Tanahashi.
He left it. He
I
exited.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, shout out to Doki. We'll talk about that when we do New Japan next week. Is there a New Japan? No, we got Noah next week and Heatwave and
Something else.
Marigold.
TNA.
Yeah, Slammiversary's next. It's 2 weeks from now, the 20th.
Oh, it's 2 weeks from now. Okay.
Yeah. So all in all, you were there. What would you rate this show? One, do two ratings. One for the live experience and two for the actual show itself.
For the live experience, I would give it somewhere close to an 8, like 7.8, 7.9.
Okay.
I thought it was really fun. Like I like watching wrestling.
Live
I
shows
might not
are
be
always fun.
the most massive WWE fan, like especially when you're there. It's a weird vibe sometimes, but this was like the pay-per-view was like live. It was really loud,
Yeah.
a little bit too fucking loud. Like
yeah, the decibels, they showed the decibel counter again. It reached like 106, 107.
They needed to turn
points.
down the speakers at one point. Like the sound of like some of the wrestlers' intros was so ridiculous. Like John Cena on the mic was so loud it was ear piercing.
Wow.
Like ridiculous. We were like, what is happening? The actual event, like 7.2.
Yeah. I'm right there with you with the event. I'm slightly lower. I'm 7.1.
I'll just give me a 7.1. I think that's fair. I thought like as an entertainment experience.
Well, let's just say I'm glad I didn't drop $300 for the tickets.
I mean, it was entertaining, as every match was entertaining enough that it wasn't like under a 7, I think. But
yeah, but watching it on TV, like it's different with, like you said, with the live. Watching it on TV, like two of those matches were absolutely like the Damian Priest match was atrocious, and the main event was horrible up until the second half.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. I think it's definitely a watchable event.
Yeah, like I mean, at least watch the Money in the Bank matches.
Yeah, I would say that. And the Sami Zayn match was good.
Yeah, was good to watch as well.
The men's ladder match is like literally almost a 5-star in my opinion.
Yeah, that was choreographed so well. That was like so good.
Like, those make up for the fact that the other two matches or whatever, and the fact that their pay-per-views are only 5 matches.
Yeah,
it's like it's hard to be like, oh, don't sit through this, because it's like, yeah, especially if you fast
forward through all the promos. Like watching it live, it's a little different, like you said, because there's such that big lull between matches,
and
that they don't do anything. No,
and they've been doing pre-shows lately.
It was a 2-hour pre-show. Even yesterday. Like, well, we're recording this on Sunday. I'm actually watching I will finish watching the race while we're recording this, but this is before we're watching NXT Heatwave. Even Heatwave has a pre-show match tonight.
It was weird too, because they were letting us in. Gates were supposed to open at like 6. They started letting people in at like 4 o'clock. I was just walking down the street and I saw a line. So I'm like, okay, I got in the line. The line moved so fast. Within 5 minutes, I went, like, the line was massive. I got
not like
all
Forbidden
the
Door
way
then.
to the front.
Forbidden Door took us a while to get in.
I'm sure if you came in later, it probably would have been bad.
Yeah.
But I got all the way to the front, and then because they started doing the pre-show, they just stopped letting people in. So for like 30 minutes, I was standing right in the sun. We didn't move at all. And then all of a sudden, they started letting people in again.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they wanted to be able to come out with the camera and film the line of people.
Oh, to show all the people.
Scream.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That
I was
makes
like, so you
sense.
made us all die of dehydration in the sun.
Yeah. And I just realized because on the pre-show for NXT, you got Carmen Petrovic and Ariana Grace against JC Jane and Jasmine Nix.
Yeah.
Ariana Grace's gimmick is her father's gimmick when he was Santina.
Yeah. You
I
didn't
just,
know that?
I just like, I'm just starting to piece that together. The beauty queen with the tiara and the.
Yeah.
Let's shout out to hopefully maybe Santino makes an appearance.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're crossing over.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
calls JC Jane, you son of a gun,
Samanagama.
you son of a gun.
I just want to hear him say John Cena.
John Cena, one last time,
Yeah, you know?
one last time.
That should be a thing. Like
Yeah,
have a moment where he comes out and just be like, for one
or even
last time, John Cena.
or even just like have how they have like some now they even have like wrestlers from other promotions now film promos for like guys in the WWE.
Yeah,
They could
yeah.
just have Santino do like a little video package of I remember the first time John Cena you came to the W.
That would be nice. I'll take that.
Yeah, so just like have a little going away package for him. But for both of us, it's a 7-1. Watch it if you can. If you don't, you're really not missing anything. But definitely watch the two ladder matches and the IC match were definitely the three matches to watch on this show. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. That's all we have for you this week. So tune in next week. Next week, we're going to have a couple. We're going to have at least Heatwave for you next week. I got some family obligations I got to take care of, and we can't film during the week because our schedules are way off. And then I'm going on vacation. So
I'm on vacation next week.
you're on
Not
vacation.
not tomorrow, the next week.
So you're on vacation the same week I'm on vacation.
Probably, yeah.
When do you go? The 13th?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I'm off too.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
So we can film every day.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Just don't tell Putty.
Yeah.
All right, go watch his Deadpool crap.
All right.
With that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.